What's up, guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? What's up, Nickel? What's up, Tom? Diabolical Debbie? Excellent, excellent. And Jake should be here shortly. What this is going to be about is Jake noticed some anomalies in the charts between, what's up, Jeffro? Between platinum and palladium here as of recently, and he wanted to get that message out. So I was like, sure, let's do a live stream on Friday. Get this word out for you. So that way, what's up, Art? He should be here shortly, hopefully. Grab your coffee and cigarettes, indeed. I can possibly go to, well, I won't share a screen yet. I'll get it ready. And let me take that back off. What's up, Jeff? Date night. Well, I feel special. Hey, Jake, you're in the wrong part of the chat, brother. If you go to my the YouTube channel, go to live stream. Oh shit! Did I put the invite there? I don't know if I put the invite there. Hold on. Let me square this away here. Get Jake up in here. There we go. Now maybe Jake can get his booty up here and start talking. And that's where you go to, Jake. And anyhow, back to waiting for Jake to come to the stage. What's up, ATM? Again, this is about some... what's up, Joseph? Some interesting things he saw in the charts and the price action differentials over time between gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and then all of a sudden platinum and palladium kind of ran in line with each other against, from my understanding, against what the charts had been showing. And that's why I said that he and I should do a live stream. He said, yeah. So here he is.
Sorry about that. The YouTube shit crashed as soon as I hit the link. The whole thing went to shit.
That's what I say, man. It's always YouTube's fault.
Yeah, well, I got to play it on my phone.
This is Jake right here, guys. Everyone who hasn't seen him before, he's been on my show. I was just telling him about the correlation that you just noticed, and I have this screen right here popped up as you had asked.
Right.
So
yeah, if you what we're doing is we're getting on investing.com. It's a commodities. I mean, there's a bunch of other stocks and stuff, futures on it. But if you go to investing.com and then click on commodities and then click on metals, it'll bring you to the page that Neil's on. We'll give everybody a second or two to click
let
that.
me take this to full screen here. So that way people get a better view. I'm going to have to flip over to the other screen so I can move this thing around. I can't move it around from StreamYard, so I won't be able to.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, just tell me what you want to flip on. And
yeah, so if we click on palladium and then we look at a 6 month.
Hold on a second here. It moved me. Okay, it took me back to the beginning as we were waiting. So I click on commodities.
Right, commodities, metals.
And then metals.
Right,
now we're back. Now click palladium or platinum?
Yeah, click palladium first.
Okay.
So everybody can see the differences. All right, and then scroll down a little bit further underneath the graph. You can see where you can choose a 6 month chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, click the 6 month. And then let's look at the charts. Right, that's the same thing I got. If you look at some of the biggest deep, like the bottom, the trough, yeah, you go to that one. You know, you're around 11 to 24. and you get down to February the 12th seems to be the bottom of palladium. And at that time, I think mine's showing 851, some change, something like that. So one of these key dates I keep bumping into is February the 12th, 2024. It comes up a lot with either dips or whatever. So, but while we got palladium pulled up, if you go back, and we're only in a 6 month deal, uh, 6 months going back, the high was $1,994 at that peak, and then the bottom that I found was 851. So people that have invested or had in palladium, man, you're short like 1,142 in the hole. So not too good. If you bought palladium at that time, it's down a lot. But basically, when you look at those lines going sideways, it's basically palladium's been swinging sideways, maybe about $130, back and forth. If you look at the majors, it's just weird. I mean, that's a lot of volatility for a short period of time. But anyway, so we can jump off palladium and let's jump into platinum, and then I'll show you where. Just go through the same thing and platinum on a 6 month, and I'll switch over. I noticed a few months back that there was a point. There was a point in time when I was watching. The investing.com, and palladium and platinum went sideways, or they went together. They came together at the same time at the same price. I like fucking fell out of my chair. I was like, holy shit. So if you go back to once again,
wow.
Around that.
Yeah. It's screwed up.
Yeah. So if you go to February the 12th,
I'm not seeing any numbers. I need to refresh this page somehow. Because this chart, can you see the chart? It's not showing anything for platinum. 6 months. Okay, there we go. 3 months. See how I see the chart? There we go. Okay. So what you wanted?
Yeah. So February the 12th.
Right there.
24.
And that would be.
Figure out where it's at.
There's actually a couple places where it was at that low. It was also at that low 13 days after that. But right here is where you're talking about. That low. Yeah,
I mean, it's awful weird. And then now, basically, the way I look at it is platinum's been going sideways for the last 6 months with a swing of about a $75 swing. So you could say $50 high, $25, within $75. Platinum's just been sliding sideways. But I thought it was awful weird that one day when I think, because palladium used to be, like I said, almost $2,000. That's only in the last 6 months. I'm not going back years, but $2,000 is now, you're negative 1,100 plus. Anyway, so thought that was weird. But what's even weird is if you pull up silver or gold and you punch in that same date, February the 12th. Do the one on silver. I got the screen in front of me.
Now. Going the 6 month chart, going back to right there. Actually, it was a dip on that day too.
Right.
12-2. If you look at the whole chart, the lowest is right over here in 6 months, but that's 12-2 right there. It also had that same dip.
Right. So when the other two went down, silver after this day gets a bump. For the next, was that the 12th through that's like 6 days. If you ride that little hump up, like 6 days up, it went up. I don't know what the difference is. 23.60. 22. Yeah, so almost $1.50, maybe $1.60 jump just right after that date. I mean, it's just weird that either they're at the bottoms going down or at the point of silver and gold started to move up from that point. I mean, I know there's multiple times with silver, but if you look at,
since
Go ahead.
that date, silver hasn't gone back. That seems to be like it would be a floor now for silver. Because if you look at this chart where I'm at right now, on this February 12th, it was at 22.21. Okay,
Right.
before that, it was at 21.99. Okay, but after this date of 2/12/24, it's not hit that number again. So
Yeah.
it looks like that was that it looks like that might be a floor is what I'm saying, and that right there is a
Yeah.
confirming number. So about 22 is the floor, I'd say,
Right.
for silver, to look for it not to go below 22 when it does drop.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that say a lot of things, but I think Professor Vinny's he's hoping that it doesn't hit below 24, 24 and a half seems to be a good solid base floor. Whether it dips down one day is one thing, but if it just continues to climb, but everybody knows that they're trying awful damn hard to keep silver under 27. So if you look back 6 months ago, they were beating their ass trying to keep it under 24 and 25. You know what I mean? But now 6 months later, they're trying to beat it under 27, and so the numbers are getting higher. They
Damn.
can't control.
Same with gold.
Right. Oh, you already went to the gold chart?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
Check
here
out
is the
that one.
chart. Yeah, it was going side. It was kind of going sideways up until 2/12, and then that looks like a new low for it. And ever since that date, it hasn't gone below that number.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's awful weird. Of course, mine did the same thing yours did a few seconds ago where the
Yeah,
screen's not
went
not
blank.
loading. Yeah. I
Just go
guess
to
it'll
like
come up
3 months
in a
and
few
then
minutes.
click back on 6 months. It'll happen for you.
That's what I did. I didn't do it. We had
Huh.
bad weather and storms, but
I'm gonna
still
go.
got internet.
I'm gonna check out
Nobody
some
doing
other
shit.
metals that we don't usually look at. See if anything happened on that day.
Yeah, well,
So
so I'll keep with it on the gold. Gold's gone up in the 6 month. It swings about $300 in any direction the last 6 months, but gold's gone up $482 in the last 6 months when you look at these charts, which I thought was pretty cool, especially if you're a gold.
that's interesting. Copper. I'm on or nickel. Excuse me. I'm on nickel right now, and on that date, nickel 2 days before that date is when it hit a low,
Right.
but it hasn't gone below that low. But it doesn't seem to correlate with the nickel chart. So it's probably just the noble metals that it's affected.
Yeah. So if anybody is interested in copper, uh, Professor Vanny told me that the other day, I think Goldman Sachs released I don't know what you call it, some inside information, whatever, that they're projecting copper to be at 12,000 per ton here pretty soon, like in the next couple of months, I think, or maybe it was by the end of the year, or whatever. But they're looking for copper to make a big jump from the normal 10,000 a ton to 12. I thought that was pretty cool.
Zinc looks a lot like gold chart. It's like a day after the 2/12 is when zinc hit its bottom, and it's done nothing but gone up since then.
Yeah. For some reason, my gold futures is shit to bed. It ain't coming up with nothing. What a fucking waste. I'm gonna go have a smoke.
I'll get back on gold for you.
Yeah, I can see it on your
seems
chart.
like you can go that boom. I'm hitting it each time. It's you go here.
Yeah, that February 12th.
Yeah, you can see it on most charts. Since we've gone through all charts, you just go back and go boom. That would be it. That's it right there.
Right. Yeah, and so
That looks
about
like,
right
that
there.
Looks like the zinc. That looks like the zinc chart as well.
Right.
But
yeah, well, so something's going on. But look at it. Ever since that February the 12th, it starts going up after that. So I don't know what day February the 12th was. That like a Monday or Friday or what?
I have no clue. Let me go back here and see if anyone's talking in.
I hope it's a Friday. I hope it comes up as a Friday, because that means the Shanghai opened on Sunday and pushed that bitch up. If it is a Friday, because most time the Shanghai knocks shit up on Sunday night America time. They usually don't do too much during the week, but whatever. Yeah, I don't have access to the YouTube chat, but I can here in a minute.
That's cool. I'm back on YouTube. I left the gold chart up. I guess you want me to get rid of this screen so we can just chit chat some more, or do you want to go back to the
Yeah.
screen? It's
I mean,
definitely
it don't matter.
there's definitely a correlation on that date.
Yeah, a lot of shit was going on February the
February
12th,
12th, yeah.
2024.
And the charts show that was the last. That was the pretty much the. It looks like the new low on all the precious metals, anyhow, and zinc. I know zinc's not a precious metal, but all the other
Still
precious
a good
metals,
metal.
palladium, not
Still
copper,
good.
platinum, palladium, gold, silver, and zinc, all on that day. That seems to be their low. And hey, what's up, Matthew? And they've only
Right.
gone up since then, which is kind of bizarre. So
Right.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at February 12th and see what happened that day.
Yeah. So was that on a Monday or a Friday?
I'm gonna have to go to my phone, look up calendar, and do all this crazy shit I'm not used to. Give me a second. Calendar. Okay, February.
Yeah, February the 12th,
It was a
2024.
Monday. It was Monday.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Oh, yeah, that explains it. Well,
So
interesting though.
that would be what? Probably a Chinese move on the metals.
Yeah, I mean, what they open up at 9 o'clock Texas
Yeah,
time
yeah.
Sunday night and into Monday, so they tried to beat it down and then they pushed it up.
Something broke that day.
Yeah, because if you look at gold and silver, they started climbing the whole week, the next week or whatever after that week or two. I'm sure the
Same,
BIS like shit their fucking pants.
same with platinum and palladium. All four of them did the same thing.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. If anyone else on the chat wants to research that date, see if you can find out what happened that date that would have caused all the metals to apparently have a new bottom on the same day, which is interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that either it's a bottom or a very low bottom, but you could also say that they all spiked up on the same day.
Well, yeah, they started going up. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That was the last time. They haven't been that low since that day, and that is bizarre.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. However you want to state it, it's they've not gone back that low, and it was that specific day, and it's four of the noble metals. So that's very interesting to me.
Yeah, maybe something in the news will come up with it. Later, we'll be able to find out something. Let's see if I
Well,
can get on
history hopefully will
this.
tell us after in 10 years when we go to find out. They'll be like, oh yeah, on February 12th, 2024, 10 years ago, this happened and it caused everything to go up, and we'll be like, wow, that's what happened.
Right. Let's see if I can pull up this live stream.
If you want to share a screen, go down to presents at the bottom of the screen, the box with the plus in it. It hits hit that and then hit share, and it'll come up with a list of tabs you have open to share.
All right, let me see how to turn down the volume on this. As you can tell, I'm super don't do shit on the computer. All right, so it's got the volume turned off. There's the chat.
Check that out for us, Nickel.
Yeah, I see Matthew and Nickel. Diabolical.
That
Tom
is
Larson, we
100%
recognize
the
him.
truth. If you want to know the true value of anything, Diabolical Debbie just nailed it.
You should also store organic seeds. Yeah, that's true.
Yep, it
I
is
heard
true.
about those seed stores. Yeah.
I mean, it is true. So there is someone of intelligence is placing a value on them. So
Yeah.
I actually have quite a few seeds.
Yeah. Everybody's got a few, and I think everybody stacks and does their own stuff for their own
anyone
reasons.
who's intelligent. Anyone who's intelligent, definitely. Hey, what's up, Thomas? I think Jake brings pizza for him, Thomas. He's just trying to sweeten him up to let him know where that silver's at in Lake Pontchartrain or whatever lake that is down there in Louisiana.
Yeah, Thomas. So what you do is you take a pizza, you set it out in the woods, and Bigfoot will be there in about 10 minutes. You can take pictures, hang out with him.
Make sure to bring Bud Light though. He likes Bud Light.
Probably does. Anyway, is there any questions or anything in the chat we can discuss, or what is people?
People were talking amongst themselves. It looks like I would definitely encourage everyone in chat to drink Tito's, Neil. I would suggest everyone, if you are interested in this February 12th date, check out from your angle. Check out from your angle.
What do you mean? What strain?
He doesn't smoke, Art. Oh, Marlboro.
Marlboro Light shorts in a box, baby.
That's cool, Thomas. Thomas says he has a small amount of platinum, but concentrates on gold and silver. And everyone, I think you know my plan. I'm gonna hold platinum until it's twice the price of gold, and then I'll get 2 gold for 1 platinum, and I'll have bought it at half the price of gold. So that's my play. If it plays out, if it plays out, I'll be the smartest guy in the room. If not,
yeah, I can see.
I'll be a dumbass.
I can see Matthew. Matthew bought a quarter-ounce platinum eagle last year for $250. What year was your eagle, Matthew? If you care to share. Got 4 of them.
1990.
And 2 2001s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how maybe in the next couple of years, people that bought platinum and I don't know, maybe gold eagle, silver, it'd be different. Interesting to see what they might do with the with maybe more value added to years. Maybe some years like they made less of the platinums. If you grab some of those eagles when they had low production years, kind of wonder if that might play out in a few years down the road. Maybe.
I have a feeling because of the geopolitical situation in the world, and we're getting away from the globalism attitude and going back to nationalism. I have a very distinct feeling economically in whatever country of sovereign you hold, that sovereign coin will be worth more in that country to that country and that country's allies than it will be to other countries. So knowing that there's going to be a segment of the population, just like now in the numismatics, that I think there'll be a dramatically larger increase in the price of the numismatics for people who collect those types in that segment of collectors. Right. I think there's going to be a huge increase in the price of sovereign coins in the numismatic market, along with other markets. I mean, they'll go up, but mostly people who are in the numismatics and governments in those certain countries will value the sovereign coins higher than any other coin. Not saying that not buying any other sovereign coin now is not a good thing. It is. Right. If you plan on going to that country in 10 years, they will appreciate that coin a lot more than you'll get it dollar value amount in the country that it's not a sovereign coin too. So any sovereign coin is I think a better value. It'll bring more opportunity of more segments of collectors and stackers in the future than any other silver, gold, or platinum. That's just my personal opinion, looking at how politics is going, and in 10 years, what the future looks like from what I'm seeing now. And it's going to be nationalism, not globalism. So nationalism, sovereignty, nationalism, sovereign coins.
Yeah. Hey, this is off topic, and we jump back on real quick. Thomas, for Thomas, my son's stationed down in Georgia, so I'm sure maybe at some point this year I'll be driving down there to go visit him or do something like that. So if I swing down to Georgia and Florida, I'll give you a holler on the way out there or whatever. and go get some pizza.
Art collector asked something. What's up with the updates on El Salvador? I haven't checked. And as far as the pizza coin, I am still on hold for that because of finances. But it looks actually, here's some interesting things for you, but it's only local. Uh, Iron workers and the trades out here in my district, our work is picking up. Not in the building trades sense, as in it is new construction, but it's not new construction for office or residential or anything like that, or production. It's refinery shutdowns and additions for solar and wind power generators are coming online, and that's going to kick off a lot of work for us out here in California, which will stimulate a little bit of the economy in a regional area of the nation, not nationwide, unless other states have public projects that are kicking off. Uh, Actually, from 2 months ago, ironwork economy is in my areas actually picking up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
as
back.
far as ironwork, I say is a forecast to the future of the economy, because when I was building high-rise buildings, they cost a couple, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 billion, however much. And companies or groups or people, whoever was paying for it, they would continue having work on the books or buildings to be built until the economy started before the charts showed the economy was changing. Jobs, billion-dollar jobs would drop off the books and people would pull their funding. And then a year or year and a half later, the economy would go to shit. And then after the economy picks up is usually, at least in the past 2 recessions that we've been through that I've been an iron worker, it takes about a year to year and a half after the economic hard times before our work picks up. But our work's picking up early this time, and that's kind of unusual, but it is more state funded, federally funded type projects. So,
Yeah.
I'll give you an indicator of what the future looks like.
Yeah, with everybody lately talking about Costco, I wonder if Costco is getting a lot of the allocations for the Silver Eagles. I did hear from somebody that we all know about 2 months ago that Dubai, I've never found any more information on it. I've talked to 2 or 3 smart people we know on YouTube, and nobody could ever confirm it, but I heard shitloads of Eagles were going to Dubai. But the person that told me, I believe him. Proof. But with Costco buying all these Eagles and shit, it's just, I don't know. It's interesting to see.
Well, couldn't that also drive the price up if a lot of it, because Costco is not a small store, and if they're purchasing for all of their stores nationwide and purchasing in quantity all at once, that would bump numbers up temporarily, I imagine.
Yeah.
People seeing a lot of buying going on, and then all of a sudden, no art collector. He did stop by, but not today. And actually, let me see if he will stop by. I'll text him, see if he'll drop by.
Yeah, that's right. Tom Larson saying bald guy lives in Dubai. So if anybody has his phone number, maybe he could either hear about it or see it, or I mean, that would be crazy, because like we know people in foreign countries, and there's not a lot of Silver Eagles floating around in the stores, and like Dutch, he said they're kind of hard to get and they're super expensive over there, because when me and him live chat, he could show me like the price, like right there, the order. And most time they're out, sometimes they're in. It's very hard to get Eagles over there. But I mean, I just don't see a bunch of foreigners outside the United States and maybe Canada, but the rest of the world, I don't see a lot of people buying Eagles. Like, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like, that they would be, I don't know, stockpiling a shitload of Eagles. But what do I know?
Right. I just texted Ninja. He might show up.
Oh, cool.
It's Friday, man. It's Friday. Same time schedule. A lot of business going on. I don't count on it.
Yeah. So Andy's supposed to be in Las Vegas yesterday and today, and who knows? There's a XRP / metals conference.
Yeah,
somewhere in Vegas
there again. After that last.
So I don't know anything about it. Yeah, we'll wait and see. I'd like to see what Andy says about that, and I don't think he's going to do any interviews while he's there. I guess I'll find out. But
Yeah, I hope he has a better time than last time. I know last time not many presenters or myself had a good time in Vegas.
yeah, well, Andy marches to his own band, so if you don't have a good time, he'll find a
Oh
place.
yeah,
He'll have a good
oh
time.
yeah, no doubt. He's real.
Yeah, he don't need nobody. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got friends and people there. So
yeah, he's real. He'll go outside and fucking go live and take all their business.
yeah, I mean, even at the
He's
conference,
live
shit the
on
bed, he'd be
YouTube.
like, "I know where to go. I know who to call. Yeah, we'll have fun."
Oh, and just to throw some kudos out there to Jake, since if you guys don't know him, which you
Oh,
should, uh, he is actually personal friends with Andy Sheckman and Chris
don't worry
Matthews,
about it.
Yara, and the infamous Nibbles, for which he has taken on long walks on the beach down in Miami. I haven't questioned him on that because Miami, what you do in Miami stays in Miami, kind of thing.
Yeah. No, there's just a lot of cool people. I mean, like I say, when you get to meet YouTubers and phone calls, video chats, stuff like that, that
Right on, bro.
all these people we know and see. I've been on Ron's basement. He's super cool. And I told him, hey, if I slide up to Indiana once or twice a year for pizza, I'll swing by the basement. I mean, but all these guys are just nice, regular folks. I haven't met an asshole yet. So, I mean, I've seen and met a lot.
Yes, he
Uh,
is, Art.
this is but yeah, I mean,
That's that doesn't mean he
as
puts
long as,
orange juice on his pizza. That's OG.
yeah, but no, I mean, there's just a lot of cool. Not only do we have a lot of followers and friends that we all bounce around and meet, either in the chats or like, me and Neil been chatting for a while. Thomas Toops is in here. I've called and chat with him. I don't know if there's anybody else that I know. I mean, I recognize all the names. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's like, everybody's just regular people, and everybody's doing stacking and
Doing,
doing what they can when they
doing
can.
their
And
thing.
yeah, so, everybody's got opinions, kind of like auto mechanics, but we'll find out. There'll be some good things that come out of all this down the road. It just depended on, maybe what you stacked, what year when you stacked it, is it organized? That's why I keep harping on some of that same old shit. Some people claim they got a lot. My buddy, a few doors down, when you ask him to put it all together, he can fucking tell you. How much did you pay for that dollar cost average bullshit? Yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah, that's just a way to get new people into feeling good about buying it, I guess, because we all kind of know that dollar cost averaging doesn't work if it's going up. You need to buy a lot now and then buy what you can when you can, because if the price is going to go up, it's going to go down. It's going to, for example, people who dollar cost averaged and as it was going up and they bought it like say 27 because it
Right.
was at 28 and it dropped 27. Now it's at 26. What's that dollar cost average and doing then? Well, now they got to buy more to balance out the dollar cost average. And now you're worrying about that, and that's not where, in my opinion, you need to be worrying about. You just need to worry
Right.
about how much do I have? It's not enough. I'm getting more because the price is going to
Right.
go so significantly higher. As I have said, and this is where Jake and I are a little different on our stacking, and that's a good thing. Everyone doesn't need to be the same. I will continue buying silver and platinum till it comes close to their all-time highs because they will make new all-time highs eventually.
Right.
After they get past the all-time highs, you're going into price discovery. Now you've got to reassess your buying strategy because you're not no longer in a chartable path. You're in a price discovery uncharted. Waters are different. It's like going from the North Sea and on the Pacific, and you go across the equator, and then you go in the South Sea. You're sailing, but it's two different types of sailing. So, yes, you're stacking, but your strategy needs to change as the conditions change. And after a precious metal goes past its last all-time high, it's no longer a chartable thing. So you can't really have anything to go off past tense to see where the future might be. It's price discovery. So it's uncharted waters. Batten down the hatches, hold on a little while, see where it's going is my personal opinion on that. Other people like saying, oh, hey, let's ride the wave and hope we don't crash or, whatever. But the thing is, you should have as much as possible before it hits its all-time high again. That's why I'm saying not to buy gold right now and buy silver and platinum, and why I've always said it, because they're still about half of their all-time highs. And actually, platinum's still around 60% lower than its all-time high, which to me signals a strong buy. Same with platinum. I mean, silver is the same thing. There's a strong signal to buy because they're about half of their all-time high. And if gold runs, then silver and platinum follow. Well, gold has already surpassed its all-time high by a couple $100. So we have the fortune to see from history and charts that platinum and silver will also go past their all-time highs sooner rather than later. So you want to be buying more now rather than dollar cost averaging. You need to, but it depends on your strategy. And then if your strategy is not the right strategy for the speed of the market, you lose out. And that's where it, I guess dollar cost averaging is a good thing if that's what you're using to buy more. The bottom line is, as long as you buy more, however you get there, I don't challenge anyone's strategy. It's the bottom line of get it while you can. The best time to buy was 10 years ago. The next best time is today, no matter the price. And as long as it's under its all-time high.
Yeah. So some of the tips I tell new stackers, or I don't know, let's just throw out a number, say people that got under 3,000 ounces, but whatever, is it to try to keep everything organized while you got it now before it gets out of hand, because I know for a fact there's probably one or two older gentlemen in the chat. Maybe they've been stacking 20, 30, 40 years. Well, I'd hope that they have something organized that they could say, well, if you go back to the dollar cost average thing, well, hey, this bucket of dimes, I got for 10 times face. This one, if you have stuff organized, then you can look and see, hey, this is how much I paid for stuff. Some people keep receipts. Some people don't. Some people use memory. I don't use my memory. I keep receipts.
If you're dollar cost averaging, you have to keep a chart. You have to keep a list.
Right.
So so that's an extra step you have to take to stack, is keep a record of when you bought and whatnot, if you are dollar cost averaging, so you can go back and check instead of just use your memory, like you said, for 20 years. How can you remember 20 years ago what you paid for that 1 ounce of silver? You have to write it down. So another reason not to talk about dollar cost averaging is you don't have to think as much.
Right. Yeah. So what I've talked to other YouTubers, I've talked to some big whales. I've talked to everybody. And when you start asking the medium-sized whales to bigger ones, well, where are you at? Like, how much is, like you got X amount of, junk silver or dimes or, coins, whatever. And when you start really pushing, nobody's got receipts. I got this 10 years. It's like those guys. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not calling out a show, but it's people that just throw out, their full stack, 500 ounces, 10,000 ounces. Okay, cool. Yeah, but do you have like receipts or an idea on how much, like this silver I bought, 20 years ago, and it was $12 an ounce, and this is, this stack or this box or, so if you don't have, I don't know, some kind of organization or whatever, because like when I talk to people, they're like digging through their safe, going like, oh, I found an extra cougar in. I found an extra there. Okay, so yeah, so if they got shit scattered everywhere, okay, well, whatever. I just find it, weird that when I go pushing and shoving on people for dollar cost averaging, they just say it, but they don't really walk it and talk it. So, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if, people chime in or, I got a little spreadsheet. So I just tell people stay organized and, have it together, or, at least have something where,
what's up, Gerald?
If you have to do something.
Oh, hey,
years old art collector. Yeah, there's a young stacker.
Yeah, 19-year-old art. Kevin's on board with your way of thinking.
Yeah, and so sometimes, now I've been to shops where they just write you a not a fake receipt, but they just say X amount of dollars, something generic, and so I sit there while I'm doing it, because I go to a shop in Austin, and he just puts out like, if you're buying silver or gold, he don't put nothing on there. He puts like one item whatever the amount is. And so anyway, while I'm sitting there, I pull up the spot price. I already find out the deal on the junk silver, 18 phase, 15, whatever. And so I write and make all that shit, that information. And then I come home and then I file it with everything else and date it. So that way I know, and plus, I was talking to Neil about this, whatever, maybe 2 weeks ago. If you buy on SD Bullion and you've bought several purchases, go back into your account, go back to your charts, and open up a chart from, say, a year ago, 2 years, whatever you got. If you open that view that cart, there's a blue button about halfway in the center of the screen that says reorder. Push that one time. And if you write down how much I paid for this 100-face bag of junk or some gold eagles or something, if you push that reorder button, it'll give you the new current price. You can do the math and see that, hey, if I bought, say, for instance, this half-ounce gold eagle 2 years ago and I paid X amount, I look at, holy shit, I'm up $300, 400, that stuff like that can help you start keeping an eye on charting and figuring out what, maybe if you're, I don't know if JM Bullion or the other dealers do that, but it is on SD Bullion, because I went back and looked at some of my orders and I was like, well, man, what year was that? And what was the spot price? And anyway, so as soon as I hit that reorder button, boy, it brought everything, every order that I bought, I could go back and click and go, holy shit, I'm up on everything. So yeah, I get tired of hearing people bitching and complaining about my silver, my gold, whatever, I mean, the only one I'm down on is platinum a little bit, but I got different stacking methods, so it don't really matter to me.
Yep. Everyone's different. The important thing, though, of all of this is no matter your strategy, the reason, right, whatever, that you have some. Because trust me, whatever you have won't be enough. So, right, if you look at it like that, in that perspective, it doesn't matter how much you're spending for it. And if you say you can't afford it, check this out, man. When I go to work, which ain't been often since 2020, but when I do go to work, I still find shitloads of aluminum cans, 300 aluminum cans. And I know I'm privileged on the job site. A lot of them are all grouped up into one block area. But, 300 cans still makes 1 ounce of silver. And if 1 ounce of silver, 20 X's like it did in 1971, which everyone's comparing the now a time that we're in economically, they're comparing it to 1971. So if silver 25X is it like it did in 1971, but, do the math. You find 300 cans, turn it in, you get your $30, you go buy an ounce of silver, 25X that. Don't you wish you would have picked up cans before it goes 25X?
Right.
Yeah. That's another thing. To hear these people tell these stories, oh, I bought gold then, I bought gold then. Well, to be one of those people, you have to buy gold. You have to buy silver now.
Yeah. So let's look at the chat real quick. There's Finn59. He said his comment is $1 cast average, but don't do the math. Don't do math. The important thing is to spread purchases out, not buy a huge amount.
There you go. That's a good midway strategy of just buy, but don't be too concerned. Like I said, everyone's got different strategies and different ways to approach it. And when we all get together and we're talking like this, we're all mostly experienced stackers, other than Art. He'll be experienced though after a couple of these live streams. Is how we can approach people who aren't stacking with different, other than their own personal reasons that we give. We'll have other avenues that we say, well, I know people that stack for this reason. I know the people that do this way. And I know that do, because what it comes down to is the psychology of the individual being to accept paying for something that's not going to give them a thrill, like a movie or a milkshake or a car or a boat or, so you psychologically got to give them a reason that they can accept.
Right. See, but one of the answers I have for Finn is that he said if you don't buy it at a huge amount at one time. Well, yeah, but some people purchase like nickel a few ones down. He says, yeah, my average silver is under $5.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he says, I bought some at $4 and some at $6, I'm good at $5 across the board. Yeah, then nickel's way up. So you're never going to hear nickel crying, oh, I'm fucking down $1. No, he's up because he bought it years ago, right? Yeah. So then if you go back to Finn's statement at the end, don't buy a large amount at one time. Yeah, but sometimes in the last few years, people have gotten into it. They've done 401ks. They've spent 50 or $5,000 or something. So if they did buy some, it's kind of like you're screwed if you do, screwed if you don't. It's a double edged sword. You just purchase it and have it. But if you bought in something in the last couple of years, on gold and silver, if you didn't get really like screwed, you should be up. I mean, you should be good. There shouldn't really be nobody complaining about being down on their silver and gold. Platinum, I don't know. It depends on when you bought it, or but does it really
Yeah.
matter? No, it really don't matter.
Well, see now that same you the same thing that you just used for nickel and what nickel said on silver, because of other precious metals and manipulation that I believe I found in the platinum field. Had you bought platinum in 2007 and 8, you're still screwed.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
March
Yeah.
2008 is when it got its high of $2,230, and it's still less than 1,000 now. So the scenario is different for each metal, and that's why I go back
Right.
to now. You'd have to I mean, if you bought platinum back then, you'd be kicking yourself in the butt now if you had a thought process of like what you have to justify to as in nickel's thing, which is a justifiable way of looking at it. But you can't look at that for all metals, and that's why I don't really like getting into the reasons or the justifications. The
Yeah.
justification is ultimately when you need it, do you have it? It does, and at
Right.
that point in time, trust me, you won't care what you paid for it.
Right. Yeah. So
So
so so
my
if there's
mindset more of an urgency to get people out, and I don't care what reason you have to use to justify to yourself spend money. Do you spend that much time when you purchase that taco or that cheeseburger at Burger King that you really don't need? Do you spend that much time thinking about wasting that money? You know what I'm saying? So we don't prioritize things. Probably we spend less time on bullshit spending, like cigarettes. You and I both smoke. Every time I buy a pack of cigarettes, I'm like, damn, 2 packs of cigarettes is a fucking ounce of silver, man.
yeah,
And
could
yet
be.
then here
I
we are
guess in
talking about
California.
dollar cost averaging in and stuff when we're throwing money away on other things,
Yeah.
So our whole thought concept process of this metals and economics is totally screwed up to begin with, to have to try and convince a person or come up with a way that a person feels good about throwing their money at an asset that will do them very well over things like, I mean, I guess it comes down to personal sacrifice if you're poor like me, as to do you want that to smoke for 2 days or do you want future security? And even though it's only $30 and
Yeah.
won't bring future security, if it jumps up to 120 and I need to eat, even if bread's $10 a freaking loaf, I'll have that 120 in an ounce in the form of 1 ounce of silver that I can sell and get 12 loaves of bread and eat for 12 weeks. So it will
Yeah.
save me over those 2 packs of cigarettes. So if you think about it logically, why wouldn't I do it?
Right.
So for
Yeah.
me, using that type of simplistic logic, you should just cut on the bullshit and buy yourself some metal for your future, because that's how important it is to get it right about now, because we're in the end 90% of this economy game and shit, and the metals are they're going to be running, and it's one of those cases of, do you have any? No. Oh well, it's too late. Don't be in that boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, some people always have differences of when they bought it, how much, whatever. But some people just got into it. Say art collector, he's only 19, so maybe he's only been in it a year or two. But some of the older guys in here,
Different art.
even though I'm 53, I've only been in it maybe 3 years. I just heard about it, but nobody told me in the military. My grandparents didn't tell me, hey, you should always buy silver. And yeah, so you get what you can
Bingo.
get when you can get it.
That's it.
But but I would guess that most people in the chat that ain't the old guy stackers, most people have been stacking less than 5 years.
Yeah,
For the majority, I would think.
I've had a
If I had to
stacker
guess.
mindset from my whole life. I just haven't stacked. I 2008, I bought like, and like you just said, I found that I had bought. I forgot I bought them. I bought like 10 ounces, 10 American Eagles between 2008 and 2010 that I found when I started actually quote unquote stacking back in like 2021 or 2022, somewhere around there, when about a year before I started my channel, to a year and a half before I started my channel is when I started stacking. But I
Right.
did buy some before then, last economic downturn. But as most people, it obviously didn't kick in back in 2008, and I didn't continue. Had I continued stacking from 2008, by God, I wouldn't be on YouTube. I'd be driving around in a Mercedes right now.
Right.
So I didn't get it. I went through one. I kind of sort of I got the hint, but I didn't catch on to it. You know, move on 15 years, we're here again, and I'm like, damn, I got it back then, but I guess life kicked in. I forgot about it, put it on the back burner, whatever, and I went back to the same old thing and doing the same old thing. Economy got better, and I didn't think about it, and now here we are again. You know. So
Right.
yeah, what Mary said. To be a successful investor, you have to be able to delay immediate gratification. Well stated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's back to the cigarette thing. So as you're smoking one, but you got silver, you got crap loads of silver. It's for people who are poor who can't say they can't afford to invest in their future and get physical assets that you can hold rather than disposable liabilities. And the mindset
Right.
that we've been taught since the 80s is buy disposable liabilities. And we'll need to change that
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah. Well, it seems like to me one of the biggest psyops on the United States is the U.S. dollar. Because why more people aren't trying to get
Well,
gold and
actually,
silver, even though the states are changing and central bank. You get in all those details. I got
it's
friends that got money and they don't want to buy it. Oh no, I'm gonna keep my dollars. Oh, okay. You know.
it's complacency and ignorance. We get complacent because I recall the changeover from to this fiat system back in 1971. I recall that. I was only 3, but I actually recall it. My parents were bitching. I actually, I mean, there was a lot of hassle in our household back then, and we were poor for a good 5 or 6 years after that. I mean, damn poor. I mean, I recall that, and it was temporary. It's just, again, short term gratification. Wow, 50 years is actually short term in the thinking of countries' monetary systems movements. In our lifespans, it's not short term, it's half our freaking life. So it's all in perspective. And if you can keep the proper perspective, which is a more long generational term, which is the reason why I also like people saying generational wealth, because that's a
Right.
long term perspective. And anyone who thinks long term perspective, well, check this out. You might be poor now, but when you die, you'll be dancing because your grandkid, because of what you did, won't be
Right.
poor. And if you raised your child well enough and they raised your grandkid well enough, they will be at a foothold to be able to even be wealthier. And now you've got
Right.
generational wealth. And that, hey,
Right.
the perfect segue into why I like crystallized osmium in jewelry form, because it's going to be sold out. None of it left except for what they dig out of the ground every year in a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 max. That means it's going to be the first metal that's going to go pretty much extinct because they're only going to get a certain amount out of the ground every year and convert to the crystallized osmium. So it's the first metal that's going to go down, which means it's the first metal that's going to skyrocket. And if you have it in jewelry form and you pass it down to your kids and your grandkids, the amount of wealth just gain. It's like one of the few things that you can purchase at such a low cost. Make something, pay someone to make something out of it. Don't sell that some bitch, and you'll
Mhm.
have yourself literally the same thing that the Queen has. Because if you look at the Queen of England's jewels, her hats, there's 2 of them. They're worth a couple $1 billion each, but they weren't worth that much when they were created 150 years ago. And the only reason they have them 150 years later is because if they broke them down, sold them, and wanted to make it again, they couldn't. The only way they could preserve that wealth is through generational wealth in a jewelry format. That is one key to generational wealth that is made available to each and every one of us here today through crystallized osmium. Sorry about the sales pitch.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking through the chat. People are offering art collectors some good advice. So, but like I tell them, anybody, whether they're new, just choose wisely. Because
Oh,
things are
life,
changing,
life is
and
full of choices and decisions. Choose properly.
yeah. So here's a topic. I don't know who's heard of it or whatever, but everybody knows Cowboy Billy Holter. I really like him. He's badass. But a year and a half ago, a year and a half ago, I think he bought close to a little over $9 million worth of junk. So that's in the public. But he seems to think that at some point, which when silver goes up, I'd like to see how this plays out. But he thinks that junk silver is going to go maybe 1 to 1 with Eagles and possibly even have a higher premium uh, for those that are stacking junk silver. And not, I mean, he didn't put $900 down on it. He didn't put $9,000. Money where your mouth is. Fucker put 9 million. Just saying.
Got to respect that point of view because the man's backing it up with his dollars, so I can't deny him that.
Yeah,
I would
he's
say
backing it up. He's old school. He's been doing this metal stuff for a lot of years. Yeah,
he's smart enough to know, I believe, what he's talking about, but I still believe he's wrong on his stance on platinum. Everything else, I kind of sort of agree with him, but because of his stance on platinum, I see that he has, in my opinion, been chart deceived and probably blinders on because no one really looked at platinum. Even your buddy Andy admitted, and that's why I respect Andy. He admitted, I really don't know about it. I've been in the business for 35 years, and we really didn't pay attention to it. And I respect the hell out of anyone who's honest, and that he gained more respect. Bill Holter straight up just came out and said it's crap, basically, and I was like, oh hell.
Yeah, well, right, but the difference is,
I'm
right, but the difference is, Billy's been stacking gold and silver for decades, not years, not he's been in it a long time. But the difference is that
he should be more honest and say, well, I really don't know. I do.
Well, he might know, right? So he might know, and he might have his opinion. His opinion say he didn't really like platinum, and until he's proven wrong, if he is, maybe he's right. But like I said, if the sales for Miles Franklin on platinum or don't even hit the radar, okay, then then there's nothing to hit the radar on. But if they start going up and the price goes up and sales start, but you can't put the horse before the cart. So, but when everything starts going up a year, 2, 5, whatever, then there'll be a time to, who was right, who was wrong. And because
it's not about
Billy's
right
probably,
and wrong. It's not about right and wrong. It's just the way he
well,
said
it is if you're calling somebody out though.
Well, it's my precious metal. That's my baby. And I know a lot about it. And yeah, if it's a call out, then it's a call out. But that's not how I intended it. I just said I don't like his stance on platinum. That's why I really don't like listening to him. It's like if you have a kid and it's the ugliest kid in the neighborhood, you don't want to hang around parents and say that. Because to you, it's a good looking kid. Kind of sort of like that.
Yeah.
Now, is he ugly?
Yeah. Well,
it's the eyes of the beholder. Who knows? What's beauty?
Yeah. Well,
it always changes.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, it's just like, look at it like this. If your neighbor's an auto mechanic, you go talk to him about your automotive care and something's wrong with your truck. If you know he's an auto mechanic, you don't go talk to him about computers. Hey, you know anything about computers? No, but let's work it out. No, you call up another friend that does computers. So, Billy's just old school, sticks with gold and silver, what works. And it's been proven he's up. I mean, so we'll see. But I like him, and I think he does a great job of explaining stuff. And I agree with him. I agree with about everything.
Like I said, when Bill Holter puts his money where his mouth is, like he's did, I respect the hell out of that for sure. And I don't ditch him for anything he says other than what he says about platinum. I think it's because the same reason Andy, he just didn't have the wherewithal to state it the same. It's never been on his radar. Right. See, and that's a difference than saying what he said. Saying what he said means he's obviously looked into it and thinks it's trash. In which case, my statement holds true. I think the Chinese started manipulating the price of platinum in between 2011 and 2013, right before they got South Africa into BRICS. And if you look at all the One Belt Road Initiative countries, and this is where geopolitical comes in to understanding metals and their prices and not charts. Because if you look at the One Belt Road Initiative and the political and financial moves that China makes on these countries, they pretty much bankrupt every country they get involved with. So why wouldn't they do that to South Africa? And then if you research and find out why South Africa got into BRICS was because China specifically pinpointed them to join BRICS They were desperate for them to join BRICS because they, in my opinion, they knew that they were going to need platinum in 13, 14 years, and they didn't want to pay the price twice of gold. And they knew that South Africa controlled the market on platinum because they make 70, 80% of the world's platinum. So they went in partnership with them, gave them a whole bunch of money. And another thing to prove my fact that's not charted is and it's not charted in the gold price, is South Africa's gold mines in the past 10 years has lost like $5 billion. How can you lose money on a gold mine? Go into business with China and find out. So China is manipulating the price of platinum and basically quit sales of coal to South Africa, causing them to go into blackouts for 50% of the day. So why wouldn't they steal the price of platinum from them and not allow them to make money? I mean, for me, it's plain and clear to see what's manipulating the
Yeah.
price of China, who's manipulating, and when they started manipulating it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll give platinum a little bit more time. We'll see how that all plays out in the next few years. But for regular stackers and stuff, maybe they want to buy it, maybe they don't. Doesn't really matter. But I agree with all three. If you can get a little bit of platinum, a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, everything should be good. Just get what you can a little bit at a time, and it
Yeah.
all works out down the
No,
road.
as a basics, having solid assets in your hand is the
Right.
ideal way to be wealthy. And I go back to 1930. Back 1930, now put yourself back there, place yourself back there, and imagine when you walk outside, 95% of people that you see would have gold and silver in their pockets. How wealthy were we back then comparatively to now? And because if you walk outside right now and look around and just imagine how many people have gold or silver in their pockets and they think they're wealthy. And if you look at things like that, that ought to make you want to buy gold, silver, platinum, whatever, because you're better off than we were 100 years ago as a society if you have some. And those 99% that don't have it aren't better off than the people in 1930 who were wealthy enough to walk around with gold and silver in their pockets. Holy cow. Imagine how wealthy it would be if everyone had gold and silver in their pockets, bro. You know?
Yeah.
And so people have we've been psyoped into thinking something else is money since 1930s 20s when everybody had gold and silver in their pockets.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
There's plenty of pictures on Twitter. Stackers, people are picking up certain pieces or coins, or So there's a guy that I guess recently bought some pre-33 gold. So yeah, it's nice to see the younger guys or new stackers picking up pre-33. I mean, if it was me, and if I was starting off, I would definitely, if you're going to get gold, I would recommend getting pre-33 gold at raw coins, if you can get a good price on them. Which supposedly, when I called my LCS guy in Austin last week, sales are down. Nobody's coming into the store. Sounds like they're getting. This is only in Austin, so I can't stay for the rest of the United States. But this shop, it says they're getting
I
gold
have
and
skyscraper.
silver under about 2% under spot, and they're only charging 1 to 2% over spot to purchase. So it's pretty good time. Which, like they tell people, when the dips, and prices are down, people should be trying to buy if they can. But yeah, he just said business is real slow, which he was kind of freaked out because he was wondering if I was calling to come in.
Yep.
Because I told Neil a week ago, my dad, we were sitting down, he was asking some questions, this and that, and how to buy and sell, whatever. So I said, well, let's just call some shops. And I think we talked it on a live stream maybe a few weeks ago, and and a lot of shops were saying no, we're not buying and all that. But yeah, I mean, some shops are buying, some aren't. Most of them are selling to them. Some shops aren't buying anything from people because they got plenty of gold and silver, and there's nobody walking in buying. So now's a good time to pick up some of that, because to me, I think the pre-33 is kind of like the junk silver. As the years, the decades go on, it gets harder and harder to find. And when I go and hit coin shops and go travel and go on a pizza tour, yeah, you don't see a lot of pre-33 gold. They'll sell you, I mean, it's even hard to find like new Eagles, but you can find some 2010, 20, something like that, but you're not going to like walk in and find a whole roll of 24 Eagles. And yeah, I mean, but looking for nice pre-33 coins. Yeah, it's getting it's getting tougher. I mean, he used to pull out 3 trays to look at, and now he's down to 1. It's like, well, nobody's selling gold for the most part, and if they do, they're not selling pre-33. They're selling generic bars or some other shit, but nobody. He said he hadn't seen nobody come in and sell pre-33 gold in years.
I might have a change-up drop coming to the show here real shortly. Special guest.
Oh, great.
Yeah, the reason why I was quiet is Ninja texted me and said, if you're still on, I can grab my tripod and join. I was like, texting all the information and whatnot. And then after texting the information, I was like, or you could just go to my channel and hit the live and it's pinned. So if he's going with what I typed, I hate typing, especially on my phone. And I'm sure I didn't put the link in right when I typed it. So he might have a small issue and then come through my channel instead. But yes, Art Collector, the Economic Ninja. Jake knows Andy Sheckman and Chris Marcus. But this guy here he is. Hold on a second.
Neil, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's up, buddy? Here, I'll let me get rid
Neil?
of my.
Hello.
What's up, buddy? Yep, it's me. Hold on. Let me get rid of this virtual background so you can see me. There we go.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, brother. How are you doing?
Good.
Thanks for
Sorry,
dropping by.
it may be a little echoey in here. Can you hear me? It's a little echoey in here, and I can't run a mic.
Yeah, it's all good, brother. Yeah, we were just talking about charts and metals, stuff like that. Figured if you weren't busy, you could drop by, but that was the theme. But anything you want to talk about, it's open mic night. Talk about whatever you want. You want to talk about football, we'll talk about football.
My mind is blown right now, to be honest with you. I've been installing lighting and remodeling a house.
Oh my God.
I'm just exhausted. When you text me, I was on top of a 10-foot ladder, 9-foot ladder or whatever. And yeah, so sorry I didn't get your text.
I hate wiring. I've been in the trades for 30 some years. I hate electricity. Wiring sucks. So I feel for you on that one, brother. Yeah.
Man, you guys have been live for an hour? Holy cow. I've never went that long.
Oh yeah. No, and the people in the chat, I actually have more now than I started out with.
Nice. Well, you have great stamina.
I don't care if I mess up.
Nice.
I'm like you. I keep it real, This is me.
Yeah.
This is the information I'm giving. This is what I know. A lot of people seem to like it. So, Oh,
nice.
Chat. A lot of people saying hello to you, obviously.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I can't see anything. So, yeah, what do you guys want to talk about?
I don't know. We're in. Here's a question for you. Where do you take those beautiful videos of Tahoe? Is it south, east, central, or the northern part of Tahoe? I think
have to drive pretty far for it, but it's north part of Tahoe.
Oh, it's the north part. I was totally wrong.
Yeah. But I drive all over this region, so I'm all over the map.
Man, those views you get on those videos are gorgeous, bro. While I'm moderating chat, a lot of people are like, "Where are you at? That's beautiful." I'm like, "Dang, man, pay attention to Ninja. Don't look at the view." But
it's so perfect. It looks fake. It looks like a green screen.
It does. Except
even
ducks.
Yeah, yesterday I was out in the desert actually looking at all the coral formations around the desert from when it was an ocean, and identifying some pyramids and things like that, and was in some pretty spooky places. Let's put it that way. And
detector.
What?
Did you bring a metal detector? My first mind goes to gold when you say coral bed, Because over in Australia, that's where they find gold, is in coral quartz.
Yeah. So where I was, there was a bunch of gold mines. And when I'm referring to coral, I'm talking about the actual full blown, it looks like you're under the ocean, because I've been a scuba diver since I was 15.
Really?
And I'm in the desert looking at full blown coral plates. They're just amazing. And
was it Mono Lake or something that used to be in Central California, used to be covered by water for thousands of years, and that's probably part of that is the remnants of when we were actually underwater out here.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
I didn't realize they had any of that.
Yeah, and it's interesting that all of the roads, there's a lot of roads that have Egyptian names, and that's not by coincidence.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Here's something you might not know that I'd like to share with everyone. Actually, here in California, actually north of you in what county? Siskiyou County. It's that old Lasik Volcanic National Park.
Mm-hmm.
If you go, there's got a tour of a cave system, and you'd think you'd see stalactites and stalagmites, the hangers and the ones that come up. But there's another type. It's called a hexatite. I think that's what it was called. And I had gone there with my mom while she was alive. It was about 14, 15 years ago. And the Discovery Channel just left there. And I don't think they ever aired it. But due to seismic activity and the plates shifting up there sideways, it pushes water out. And the stalactite or stalagmite, which they are calling hexatite, comes out in a circular pattern out of the sidewall. And that's the only place in the world that they've discovered it. And it's in California.
Wow.
Yes. I'm glad you came and told me about those geology. So I'm glad I told you something.
Geology absolutely blows my mind. And I don't think we can really truly comprehend or appreciate what different geology structures can do today, let alone thousands of years ago, especially with like frequency research and things like that. So
Tesla had it right.
Yep, he sure did.
Yeah, I'm onto the frequency, vibration, and energy. There's a frequency to success. There's a frequency to everything. And I can prove that physically by if you look at the Tacoma Narrows Bridge and the investigation done after it fell. If you don't know about the Tacoma Narrows Bridge,
I do. Yeah,
it's the old one. Then you see it doing this number, and that happened to win. And what broke that was a resonating frequency of wind.
Yeah.
Brought down a steel bridge. Frequency of wind brought down that bridge because they built everything right to accept the right frequency to get that sway, to get everything going. And it is public knowledge and people. So if you don't understand frequencies and vibrations and energy, you need to. It's
totally agree.
So were you in the Dead Sea area or Death Valley area, northern part of Death?
No, I am headed that way, and I want to go look at the Panamint region.
Okay.
And that's where a lot of giants were discovered. Actually, there in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And so some pretty amazing stuff. I got to see some really amazing footage from a long time ago. You can't find this stuff on the internet though. They do a pretty good job of scrubbing it off.
I'm totally agreeing with you because the first guy, I believe he was the first guy, and I don't recall his name off the bat. It was early turn of last century. I want to think sometime 30s, 20s or something, was in the Grand Canyon, made a supposed, and I say supposed because everything's missing now, made a discovery, documented a lot of things, turned it over to the Smithsonian, and it's all been lost and not talked about now. And that's Egyptian writings, hieroglyphics, and other things.
Yeah, a Freedom of Information Act was filed, a request from the Smithsonian to tell the nation why they lost all of those mummies or the large skeletons. And they said the reason why they didn't at the time put them out on display at these big museums was because it would be disrespectful. And yet none of the attorneys asked, well, what about all the normal human mummies? And there's a lot of secrecy about all that. And I've been to some of these crazy sites in the desert where, L. Ron Hubbard and some other pretty evil people were doing experiments with the government to try and open up a hole in the atmosphere out in the Mojave Desert. And there's some crazy stuff out there.
You taking video?
So, no, we were definitely being watched though. Let's just put it that way.
We've had some take some personal video. At least send it to me. I'm very interested in what you got, what you will be viewing.
Yeah,
I think it'd be very interesting. And if you maybe have a 4-seater car and have a spare seat, I can drive straight down to 5. It's
there
not that far for me, brother. I'll just the park and ride nearest to 5 and 505.
There you go. Maybe one of these days we'll have to do it because we're starting to do more and more research out there, and or at least I've been walking and contemplating really going deep out in the desert and doing some pretty interesting experiments. But that's a side of me I don't really talk about, to be honest with you. So
well, no one in this chat, even this is Jake's Custom Parts, obviously a friend of mine from Texas.
Hey, Jake.
I've never told anyone about the Smithsonian and the discovery that I've seen a documentary on. I watched lots of documentaries. And here's another thing I'll just mention the first time to all my viewers as well. I'm not sure which one of Cleopatra and Mark Antony's sons, but one of them was never found. There was a son and daughter that Caesar got, and they sent him off to like a boarding school or something like that. But the other one was never discovered. And it's been proven that they had the technology boat-wise to make it to America. And as far as that Grand Canyon discovery, from my research, I say it's probably Cleopatra and Mark Antony's son taking a majority of the wealth that Caesar didn't find with him and scoot butt after his daddy lost and his mom before his mama killed herself. He took off with a lot of wealth and got as far away as possible. And I think he made it here to America.
Well, I actually have a different theory, if you don't mind me throwing it out there.
Yeah.
And that is that when the angels, if you believe in the Bible, when the angels fell from heaven and ended up, having sex with female human beings and created the Nephilim.
Yeah.
And that all of these stories are in about 5 books of the Bible that have been since removed from the Bible, like the Book of Enoch. If you look at all the places around the world that these 15, 16-foot skeletons have been found, it's all on scorched earth. It's all in the desert.
Uh-huh.
And so when you notice that, you realize when it talks on the Bible where God went down and judged and destroyed that civilization, and they had all these amazing, it says in the Bible, they had all these amazing technologies, and they used to teach sorcery and teach elixirs and things like that, essentially witchcraft to humans to show how powerful they were. And that's where you find it, where all of the desert is, where it's all been destroyed. I mean, you can imagine Iraq is where the Garden of Eden was.
Yeah.
And it's scorched earth, right? But at one point it wasn't. So if you notice all of these places, especially in the Grand Canyon, I was sitting on the South Rim one day and I started talking to a group of people and I pointed across the valley, and there is mid-mountain, I mean sheer cliff, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of feet tall. Mid-mountain, there is a perfect doorway about 20 feet tall, massive, probably 15 foot across, 20 foot tall, arched at the top. I had everyone get their cell phones out that was around. I said, zoom into that. And everyone's looking, and they're looking at this really in a bewildered state. And I said, what do you think that is? I said, we don't know. And I said, that's an old living site. That's a temple. It's a place where things lived. And they're like, what are you talking about? I started talking about Nephilim and red-headed giants, all that stuff. And I said, if you notice, if you go to the map of the Grand Canyon, all of these peaks and spots are named after their Egyptian names.
Yeah.
Well, what most people don't realize is that it was the Nephilim that built the pyramids. The Nephilim built these massive structures down in South America, and then humans, after they were destroyed, came and inhabited those areas. Matter of fact, down in South America, you could see the size of blocks that were used in the beginning of the structure were insane, like 3-4 times the size. And archaeologists agree. They say humans came and inhabited and started to build on top of these cities, and the stones were smaller. And so, what they don't realize is what you think is a human Egyptian, you know, hieroglyphics or any of these, pictures or symbols, they're
Yeah.
actually Nephilim. And when the Smithsonian was founded, it was founded the exact year that those Nephilim and that massive cave right at the mouth of the Colorado River was discovered. And they took it over, and they since had put a military base really close nearby. And it's interesting that there's radiation signs all over the cliffs near there because they don't want human beings going there, but you
Well,
can just sort of walk
here's
right up to the
something.
radiation
Here's something
signs.
we could all look right now as far as linguistics through time and history. If you look at language from around the world, Hebrew, Greek, and go over to the Middle East, go anywhere, and you look at the languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
What language ever used pictures or hieroglyphs? They didn't. They used
Yeah.
X's, they used O's, they used everything except for supposedly the Egyptian hieroglyph. So that's an explanation right there that validates what you're saying right off the
It's a
top of
good
my
point.
head. Yeah,
That's a
and
really good point, actually. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Native Americans, we know
That,
have done that.
now check
Um,
this out. Speaking of Native Americans, why do we discount history if it's not written? Isn't that loss of history? Because we discount
yeah,
every Native American lore of their history. And in their lore of their history, in Texas, where Jake's at, they've got this wall that took, it's like 60 foot underground. It's underground now. They had to excavate to get to the bottom. And
Right.
I don't know, it's like 7 miles long, 40, 50 foot tall, stacked blocks. It was all underground.
Yeah,
Farmers discovered it.
man-made.
Yeah, and they're saying, oh, it was man-made, and then archaeologists are saying, oh, it's natural formation, and yet Indian lore says it was built to keep the giants out.
yeah, because they're cannibals.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
yeah,
Two rows of teeth. This is all their lore. 2 rows of teeth. Cannibals, usually red hair, giant size, and they built structures. That's why you also have a lot of in the India, Turkey area, you find cities inside mountains for small people,
yeah.
humans, not for giants.
So when Noah was alive, the giants were on the earth. And it's interesting because it talks about in the book of Revelation, or not, maybe it's not in Revelation, but it says, in the days of Noah, so shall it be, at the end when the coming of man comes. And we're already starting to see some interesting things as far as, let's say, human evolution and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that's exactly why they want to keep all of this hidden, is because it 100% proves the Bible. There's no other religion on earth that speaks about an entirely, massive mutated, society of human hybrids, and so that's, I think, what they're trying to keep. They actually dug one up underneath Buckingham Palace in 2011, and they had it in the news. America
quickly got squashed.
Yeah, but I think you could still find it though. And what's interesting is I remember reading about that live when it happened, and America is really the spearhead of trying to hide this, because around the world, L.A. Marzulli has done an amazing job of uncovering these skulls and the bones, especially South America. And it just blows me away that most people don't realize that, because they also, in the book, I think it's Genesis, where they're talking about the beasts of the field, the beasts roaming around. A lot of that was completely wiped out with the flood.
Mm-hmm.
And science is always trying to combat it, but they're having a hard time doing that.
This supposed new, and this goes to archaeology, supposed dogland that they're discovering in Europe, when the waters were a lot lower than they are now by several hundred feet. They've discovered through fishermen drag netting and other underwater exploration what they thought was small little societies here and there. Now, because of the amount of discoveries, they've determined that when the water level was several hundred foot lower, that there was a giant society that was around all of Europe, and just like what you find down in South America, that's been above ground still. They've got those from Chile up to Dagon near Colombia. If you do where they did LiDAR, and there's actually a walking path in stone 1,900 miles through the mountains that you can't see because the forest now, and they've made smaller discoveries. What's that one? So at the top of the mountain down, I think in Peru, and they actually have plates where they grew. They actually invented a soil and grew crops there. It's not Machu Picchu. It's I don't recall right off that, but this walkway is connected from that to almost, I think, in the Panama area, Ecuador area, they've discovered through LiDAR in different areas, and they've discovered in different areas also that come across this wall, and it's all part of this single 1,900 mile long connected society that we are denying and calling little cities here and there. And the same thing happened in Dogland, which is now all underwater by several hundred feet. They're finding villages, they're finding tools, campfires that have been underwater for, probably since the flood.
That's amazing.
Killing every man, woman, child. Because again, if you also think of the Earth as a ball, if the water level, gravity, pull, all this other stuff, if it changed all of a sudden through like a break of a continental plate shifting and it causing a break and having like water high and low on two different platforms, and you dig a little break, all the water rushes in, that opens up more, and then all of a sudden Earth will balance out more with the water covering more water. Well, what that does is if you have a mountain range like this and you're down here in the valley, great spot for growing, living, hunting, and everything, up here until the water level comes up, then everything starts filling up here. And that's when our written society started, basically. Very little is written before that time compared to after that time. And we're now discovering in Europe, Northern Europe, that the whole underneath area used to be one whole big, huge civilization larger than Rome, but long before Rome happened, But the floods as well.
You look at the Dead Sea Scrolls, being discovered a while back, and then, for so long they were missing, and then you look at, is it the Jordan River that dropped so much? All of those caves were exposed, and you could start hearing the howling that's coming out of them, which is actually in the Bible. And it says in the end days that's going to start happening. And, you got archaeologists that are sitting there looking at these caves that look amazing, that have been under a river for as long as we remember, and now there's sound coming out of them.
Euphrates.
So, the Euphrates, thank you. When the Euphrates dries up, and that's one of the signs. Yeah.
Yeah, so, they're finding some stuff now, actually. Since it's lowering, they're finding lots of stuff over there in that river.
And it's just funny because we all as humans get caught up in life, growing wealth, going on vacations and stuff, but we don't realize just like what's happening all around us. There's so much going on, When I started learning about different frequencies and what 432 hertz does to your body, it's mind blowing, honestly.
Whatever. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's just these little things. When you go down those rabbit holes, I encourage people to go down rabbit holes. You can't let them consume you, but it'll change your entire trajectory of life.
And it will. And I've got an actual story about that, because this frequency of bees is very good for you. And for some reason, as an iron worker, I woke up one morning and said, I'm getting into bees. And I spent 6 years of my life into bees, and I'd never been so happy. And I thought it was the bees, and it wasn't the bees. It was the frequency of the sound they needed at that time in my life. I needed that frequency to elevate me up to the next frequency.
Well, what's funny about bees?
Until a couple months ago, that the bees' frequency is a positive on humans.
Well, what's interesting about bees is that it's a complete circle of life when it comes to the growing cycle of plants. And they are so needed. It's insane. And it's sad to watch bees perishing right now, because it's going to seriously affect our food supply. Right now, it takes almost the entire nation's bee supply to pollinate the almonds in California. And since they don't have enough bees because it's a big business in California, shipping bees
yeah.
over for the cycle. The almond, the almond industry is collapsing and slowly, and so sad to watch.
Let you know, I'm actually a master beekeeper, and I came up with a new design of bee hive that doesn't use the Langstroth system, as I developed it thinking more of what I call beegonomics, and I have a whole new beekeeping system that I came up with. And I was actually supposed to go down to Zambia because I developed a mobile beekeeping system, and I found out it could be used as a mobile elephant fencing system, is which they needed in Zambia along with bees. But the nonprofit I was working with at the time ended up being shifty with the money, and it all disappeared all of a sudden, and that project fell through. But
keep working on that.
I know a lot. Hey, that's why I'm going in other directions. It's going to be self-funded when I go back down there. And ever since then, actually, instead of a mobile bee fencing system with the bees, I've come up with a better way to do the exact same thing. Because basically, if you get stung in the ear, you're dead. There's nothing technology can do for you. Well, elephants are the same, and they got bigger ears, so they like staying further away from bees. So, and I actually did an experiment where I emailed them bee sound because they didn't believe me. They were down in Laguna State National Park. It's in the Sepi Wildlife. Whole different management now. It's not the same people. But I emailed them. They went out with a tape recorder because they had lots of elephants coming through their area, and they turned it on. And elephants scattered ass. They ran. I was like, I told you they would. I was like, they run from that sound because it'll kill them. They're not going to run to their death. They're going to run from it. So they're going to run away. So they said, oh, cool. That's a great beekeeping, a mobile fencing system. I was like, yeah, and actually Dr. King down there in Tanzania right now is coming up with a fencing system that's like third grader compared to my education, self-education of bees and how it can be used and my system is actually mobile. Hers isn't mobile at all. I have a mobile system, and it's gone past the actual having a beehive there to using technology and making it more simplistic and less costly. Because I found out when I was trying to get my bee thing there, I had to do fundraising. And when I got involved with fundraisers, that they were looking for ideas that were self-funding after they got started, which mine is, because down there in Zambia, my idea could have increased their honey. They've got problems with their honey production down there, lots of issues. And my thing solved a lot of them business-wise for them as well, and would increase the amount of honey exports, which is like 1/3 of their GDP. So hopefully I will be able to get down there with it, but it's got to be self-funded because I tried it the other way, and money came in, but it got stolen. It got stolen, and I wasn't able to fulfill my mission at the time.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, the sun's
not yet done. It's just
you'll crush it, Neil. As long as you keep with it, you're going to absolutely crush it. Hey, I don't mean to just jump in and jam, but it is the sun's setting, and I've got to do some work.
I understand. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really do, man. Thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Good luck with your electrical.
Hopefully, if my Brohawk's taller tomorrow, it didn't go well.
Or if it's fringed.
Exactly. See you later, guys.
Get you some pizza for dinner.
Right on. Sorry about that, Jake and everybody.
All right, no big deal. I was taking a break.
Right on. That's how I told him I said, I don't want to talk about any shit that you used to talk about on your show. I said, I want to talk about you, your shit, not Ninja, but you. What do you do?
Yeah.
So that's what that was all about. Unscripted. I just let him know I didn't want to talk about the economic ninja. I wanted Travis in here. And that's who we got. We got Travis. So you guys saw a piece of ninja that you don't usually see.
Travis, the regular guy, just like everybody else.
Pretty much. He's a conspiracy theorist as well as us. But they're no longer, as we all know, they're all coming true. So they're no longer conspiracies.
Yeah, I got to look and see when Silver Bullion TV is going to post their video tonight, because Jordan's supposed to jump in tonight.
On Silver Bullion?
Yeah.
Right on.
So if you want to tell the guys in the chat.
You just told them.
Well, we'll figure out when the.
Yeah, find out when it's
see if he
live.
got
We'll
it.
we'll end this and go over to his channel. Show him some
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, we need to show Patrick. He's cool as shit. If people don't know, Silver Bullion TV, Patrick's over in Singapore. Really cool dude. Absolutely cool dude. Anyway, he tried to post a video last night of Jordan Roy Byrne. If you haven't heard of him, check out his channel, The Daily Gold. Good chartist. I like him. Friends with Vinny. Man, he's a smart dude. Anyway, so I don't see any new uploads. I don't know. Maybe in a little while I can text Patrick and see what he's got. Hopefully he got it squared away or at least uploaded. Because I was pretty disappointed that anyway. But we had it hooked up where Jordan's going to jump in the chat for a little while or a few minutes and say hi, and so we'll see how that.
When is that?
I don't know, dude. I don't see the. I don't
Calling.
see. I can't call him and be on the live chat with you.
Dag nugget, man.
Plus, nobody wants to hear private phone calls.
I do.
Yeah, so I don't see the video.
Pizza.
Yeah, I don't see any. I don't see any uploads yet. But I think last time he posted it like an hour before.
Well, just keep
an
up
hour
with
and a
Jake
half.
and myself. We'll post on Facebook and on X when SB Bullion
Silver Bullion TV.
Silver Bullion TV posts, because Jake and I will definitely both be there. So since we can't give you the exact time right now.
Yeah, so it's 7:30. He might post it maybe in the next hour. I think last time he wanted it. What started at 8 or 9 or something?
It was 9 your time,
yeah.
7 my time.
Oh, that's right. 7:30 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 9 o'clock my time. So yeah, maybe he'll post it in the next hour.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake him up. He'll probably be sleeping and shit. Be like, what's up?
I actually had that happen to me, Finn. I got stung right here, and it made me look like I had a third eye because it swelled up. I had to wear my glasses out like this because the swelling right above my nose.
Yeah, if people want to follow me on Twitter or contact me through Twitter, it's Jake Custom Parts. Somehow I guess I forgot to type the S, 'S or whatever, but you can look at it. And luckily nobody has fake accounts of me, so it should be pretty easy. But you can go in there and hit an email and direct message me or something, or if you join, hit one of my comments or something like that, whatever, and I'll try and find you if I see it. And, good.
I can take this off now.
Yeah, and then of course, if anybody has Neil's phone number, whoever they are, or whatever, we'll figure it out and can pass it along.
Yeah, no, I'm getting your. I just had to change virtual background because I got to put my screen down so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to X and I'm going to post your link.
Yeah, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing new yet on us. But I will.
List, explore. How do
Patrick
I
get some good
following? I guess that would be it. Patrick Carm, it's not him. Damn it. How do I find out who I hate fucking computers.
If you click back on your circle
X.
picture with your face on it, yeah, go back to that top left corner and click
okay.
your face, and then it'll bring up your profile with following, whatever.
Okay.
If you're not, I think I can. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know shit. See if we can figure some shit out.
Hold on, I'm here now.
Redneck this motherfucker.
How to throw up Chris Marcus's.
Yeah, people want to follow Chris or Yara, Andy, Vinny, Jordan. There's some high end talent on X. Yeah,
Yes,
shit, yeah, they are.
A lot of intelligence right there.
Yeah.
In the PM market. Sure.
Yeah, the one with the most impressive background. I mean, all of them are stars in their own, but man, Professor Benny has done a lot of shit, and he's worked with a lot of heavy hitters, market maker. You know, the stories I hear from him, and it's just fucking like, holy shit. Yeah, so he ain't no joke. And if you had to bet against him, you wouldn't want to do it. I'm just telling you now. When he calls the shit, he calls it. That's right. It's badass.
I hold David Morgan in that high regard.
Yeah. David Morgan's super cool.
There we go. I posted. I finally found it. It took me 5
Oh,
minutes.
sweet. Yeah. Well,
That's why I have
some people like to
moderators.
chatter.
But since one of my better moderators to get this kind of shit is on the live stream, he's being lazy and not posting it. He's eating nachos.
Yeah, some
nachos you're eating?
Pizza, brother.
Pizza, okay.
Well, yeah. That's why I told Ninja, grab some pizza for dinner.
Oh, you missed it, Matthew. Matthew said he's back. Yeah, Ninja came and left. We timed it perfectly, I guess.
Damn, Matthew.
You're back. Now you're here. Okay. Best moderator, I'm back. Yeah, okay. I need some pizza, Matthew. Jake's getting me hungry.
Yeah, that was. Sorry. We always got pizza on hand. I'll have some more later.
I might try and get a hold of Laura if she won't come to live stream on Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, is Art Collector still on the live stream? I don't have my chat open.
I haven't seen him post in a little while. There are a couple of my followers I don't think like Ninja.
Okay.
And that's cool. I mean, ain't no harm, no foul. I mean, everyone's their own person, no doubt.
Yeah, if I would have had a chance, I would have asked him about what he thought of the XRP convention in Vegas.
Yeah, see, I wanted to keep it away from that kind of conversation. I don't want him to, think, oh, fuck, I'm going to Neil's. It's another interview. And he doesn't like doing those. That's why I wanted him to talk about whatever the fuck he wanted to talk about. Oh, yeah, Art is here.
No,
Art just said something.
Yeah. Cool. Is there anything he wants to talk about, or I'd be interested to hear what young stackers, the way they do it, the way they see things, their thoughts, their ideas, what they hear, what they like.
I don't think most of them are into precious metals. I think we get lucky every now and then when we get it.
Yeah, but Art Collector is, right? He said he was. Did I read that wrong? Isn't Art Collector new to stacking?
Sorry, I was putting tea in my milk. Art Collector's 19.
Right. I thought he was a new stacker, right?
Well, I hope so, being 19. That make me look like
Well, he could be 19, but is he stacking? That's why he's here, right?
He doesn't have a lot of money. I think he's got 6, 8, 10, 12 ounce, somewhere around there.
Sweet.
Not thousands, but
no.
At this point in time, I think I only have actually 8 ounces of silver at this point in time. Of course, next month I'll probably have 2 or 3 kilos plus 8 ounces. But I stack different. I don't really stack. I use precious metals, mostly silver, as my bank instead of having money in a bank account and me using a credit card or my bank card online for purchases or shit like that. I buy silver, and yeah, sure, I might lose money on premium, whatever. I don't care. My card number's not out there nearly as much. I don't have as much money physically in a bank in someone else's hand. Most of what I earn, I have at my house. And if I have to spend it, I spend it. That's be your own bank, my version of it. And that's, I live what I say. So, 2 2 years ago, I had 300 plus ounces. Now I'm down to 8, 7, 8, 9, something like that, 10 if I look around. But by the end of the month, I'll be back up to probably 70 or 80, if not more. That's just how I do it.
Yeah.
And I continue will be my bone bank because I want to be, as they say, out of the system as much as possible. Everyone talks about it. I actually am in my manner that I can do best. I am doing that. And I'm trying to practice that lifestyle so I get used to that. And after all that happens, if I can totally stack up and I have the funds to do so, I will. But I don't have the funds to do any more than to be my own bank. And, that's living that, getting used to that lifestyle is a good thing to do before you have to get used to doing it, in my opinion.
Right.
Hey, sweet Jeffro. You got lucky. Clicked on my channel. Now you get to meet Jake, the next ninja of the YouTube. Next Andy Sheckman.
Nope.
We'll have Andy Sheckman Tuesdays and Jake Thursdays. And what Jake Thursdays will be Andy Sheckman Tuesday reruns with commentary.
Yeah.
Art, just keep stacking, man. Every chance you get for $30 to go out, pick yourself up an ounce, brother.
Yeah. Hey, Art, do you want to discuss anything?
From your perspective?
I got a few minutes. My phone's dying pretty quick. Got about 39%.
Yeah, you come at us.
But sometimes people have questions, and most people either ain't going to answer or they're not going to tell you your opinion. I'll give you my opinion, and I'll back it up the best I can. But, if people want to hear it, they do. If they don't, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't care either. That's why I run my mouth. Whoever shows
I'll help out if I can.
But yeah, I'd like to hear a young person's perspective. But until he gives one, or if he doesn't want to give one, that's also fine. Just keep listening, learning, do it however you do it. You're doing great. You're doing better than 90%
of the world
elders out there in America that can at least rely on family jewelry, wedding rings, stuff like that. That a 19-year-old wouldn't have. Most Americans have a wedding rings, earrings, some jewelry. And they don't consider that in the percentage of people that own gold, because they don't look at it as stacking gold. It's more just jewelry that is gold or silver.
Yeah, well, there is a difference between gold jewelry and bullion.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, most definitely. But still, to have or to have not, so a lot of people will use that gold and silver jewelry, and they are right now considered to have nots when actually they have a little bit. But most people who have the gold jewelry are way beyond their means to where that gold jewelry wouldn't last a month for them with the expenses as they're doing right now to keep up that luxurious lifestyle that garnishes them the jewelry that they have. So it's a dog, rat, or snake biting its tail syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we got a good community. Even Jeffro, met a lot of cool friends and stuff in the channels, and this chat and other chats. Yeah, pretty much a lot of us run the same circuit of channels and shows, and which is cool. We got a lot of good people. We're lucky to have them, really.
There's also
fucking zombies.
There's also a lot of people, and this is why I say be kind, helpful, and grateful, because most everybody here in this chat right now, the 10, are very kind, helpful, and grateful people. And if they ever, like Thomas said to you, if you're by the area, I got a cot and a meal for you. You don't have to stay at a hotel. That's a godsend for not growing up and hanging out with you for 50 years to do that. It is a very good community that we have here.
Sure.
Like-minded people. And it seems like, no offense to anyone who's not here, but the people here seem to be of a higher intellect, because anyone who questions or wants answers and doesn't accept the status quo is of higher intellect. Most people just accept status quo because of complacency.
Yeah,
to
that's what I
place
mean. That
the
psyop,
kills
that
over
psyop on the
15
money.
years.
I got relatives with bank accounts and 401k, and they're just getting killed the last couple of years. You know, every once in a while, whatever. And I still got a buddy from high school that's a hedge fund trader, and you know, he keeps telling me that Nvidia, and I'm like, yeah, the last year or so, but you know, it's like anyway, we'll
Oh,
we'll see.
Thomas.
Because one of the days, yeah, because he knows that when it starts to shit the bed, he knows I'm gonna call him, and I'll be like, "What's up, bro?" And if he doesn't answer me, then I'll drive up to Evansville and I'll go knock on his fucking door. Hey, what's up, dude? You didn't answer the phone. Yeah, then I'll have lunch with Silvershire. You know,
You see
go meet some
Thomas's
people.
statement,
Thomas, by and large, especially in this country, gold.
no, right above that.
Oh,
I got it highlighted.
did you find Neil's channel? It was still featured in top of and stuff. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Well, you know, travel around, go do stuff. We get to meet lots of nice people, and you know, depending on where you're at or what area, you know, you might be able to bump into. Maybe I'll bump into Nickel next time I'm up in the Midwest. You can pick out a
Was
pizza
Nickel up
place,
in
and
the
I'll meet him somewhere.
Midwest? I thought he was like
Yeah, I
in
think so.
central dead plains of America that no one goes to.
No, I mean I don't want to give a state, but I think he was near the Midwest. He can answer
Yeah,
if he wants to. I don't want to.
yeah, no,
He
I
might have went
understand.
home.
Yeah, he's probably not
Shots.
here right now. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see what this live stream does in a week because Ninja dropped by or Travis dropped by.
Yeah, better change the
Nope,
title.
nope, not going to. Not going to advertise it.
Oh.
It was a special guest that was unadvertised. Why would I change it and make it advertised? That's not why he. I mean, it was a drive by, you know.
Yeah.
I'm glad he stopped renovating his house and took 10, 15 minutes to chit chat.
Yeah, sometimes you need to take a break, and yeah, people get caught up in the rat race, just like you said. I don't get caught up in no fucking rat race, what I'm just saying, but a lot of people do. They're all busy running around going fucking bananas.
That's complacency. We get caught up with.
doing that.
I need to keep up my car payment. I need to finish paying off the newest technological oven I just bought. I need to pay off the fence I just put in. I need to finish paying off the mortgage. Oh no, I'm rich. I own everything. No. You have to keep working to maintain your rich, and those are the people that aren't going to be rich for long. And that's the opportunities that the Ninja talks about. And you know, those people are because of complacency and the usual, oh, I'm used to this. Yeah, well, for the past 30 years, it's been like that. Of course it has. Our fake system's been going for 50 years. Step outside the box a little longer. Get a reality check.
Yeah.
You probably won't be in that same position. You'll probably start dumping all the shit you're purchasing on loan and credit and start liquidating and getting down to a realistic lifestyle for what happens if I lose my fucking job. Oh, by the way, my job is human resources for a transgender show. Yeah, you're going to be gone soon, bro. You know, a lot of people, it's choices to maintain a fake lifestyle. And these are all personal choices, and then complacency. And all of us will be guilty of it if we were to inherit money or something over time. Be used to having it, and therefore we will become complacent, and we won't look at these opportunities that we see now because we'll be complacent. You quit asking questions. Never quit asking questions.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like I said a few weeks ago, whatever. It's been a month since I went to Indiana and went to go see Ron's basement. That purchase of junk silver, when I called you after we left that shop, 17 times face, I was pretty fucking happy. But the cool thing was I waited 3 weeks, you know, to make my plans to go, because my cousin canceled 1 week, and then the following week, then my buddy canceled, and it was supposed to be done a month or two. But yeah, but I planned it in 3 weeks. And I told Neil on that Friday, come hell or high water, I'm picking up junk silver. Boy, that's the cheapest place in town.
Yeah, that's when you went on your first pizza run, right? No, that was before your first pizza run.
Yeah, the pizza tour. Yeah, so I hit some pizza at lunchtime, and my cousin's, he didn't have time to go in the morning before we got lunch, so we went to go eat at Taroni's. And then we left and went straight to the shop. And then right after we left the driveway, my phone's blowing up. Neil's calling other people. Hey, silver just spiked fucking $1, Yeah. And it quickly went up to like 18,
Yeah.
19 face within an hour. And then online it was going, yeah. So that was always that'll always be a great memory of, and the funny part was, I picked up all Mercury dimes, and they were all really nice. Thomas leaving.
Yeah.
Hey, Thomas, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, it was great to have my cousin there to help me pick through really, really nice looking Mercury dimes. Of course, the old guy behind the counter is like, "Oh, I bet you're looking for Mercury dimes. There ain't no key dates, motherfucker. I don't give a shit about key date." Yeah. No, I'm just looking for really nice. Yeah, condition 2.5 gram. Yeah, and they were really nice. It was a good score on that one. So that's always gonna go down in history as a good. You can die, and I got no problem tipping a beer to that one. I was like, that's badass. That worked out great. A lot of fun.
Just a random trip on a random mission. You ran across and purchased at almost the absolute bottom at that time.
Yeah, and it was planned. I told you it was going to be Friday, not even though I got into town. I think Thursday afternoon, evening, whatever. Make sure it was supposed to be done a few times a month or so before. Just couldn't get everybody to keep canceling their plans, or I was trying to swing this one kid, the other couldn't. It worked out. It was awesome. Luckily, my cousin was there to help me sort through and look through it. So it's pretty awesome. I had a good time. And then after that, prices jumped, and I think that was the day maybe gold broke. It was close to 2,000, close to 2,100 on that Friday break when I left, because when I got to Ron's basement on Monday morning in St. Louis, gold had broke the 2,100 mark. Yeah. 21 or 22. Yeah, maybe whatever that was.
Oh, and here's another thing when it comes to metals. I'm actually, when I do get back to work, I'll probably, no matter, and I don't care about the price, I'll probably buy a couple 5-gram gold bars for possible future melting down to make my own jewelry that I will wear. So I don't care about the price, because again, if you'd look at price, you would never get into certain things. There's certain things that could make you even more money. Because if I was blown away by the price and said, "Oh my God, it's too high" or whatever, then I wouldn't be purchasing in the future 5 grams, no matter the price, because I know that when I do decide to make that jewelry for myself, the value of that gold is going to at least triple by me turning it into jewelry. So until gold gets over $8,000, I'm getting it cheaper than shit.
Yeah.
It all depends on what you're going to do. I mean, it's perspective is everything. And it basically bottom line is you've got to find a way that you feel comfortable in your own mind, and to convince yourself that what you're doing is the right thing to do. Because for one, basically it is, but that's never really good enough for anyone. You always have to convince somebody. So you've got to find a pathway of explanation of why. And that's one of many that you can give.
Yeah.
Or
just
look at and say, wow, I could do this. So it is actually better to buy now than wait for a dip, because I'm actually going to do something like that, or whatever, just options.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we got great communities. We got great YouTubers, and we got great channels. I mean, I really don't know of any like shitty channels, but it depends on what people like. Maybe people years ago used to watch, there's channels I used to watch years ago, and I was like, I don't need any of that. So so now I try to condense it down to about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10, whatever, and try. I can't chase every channel, and some of the information I don't trust what a lot of everybody. I got enough heavy hitters in the fucking bullpen. I don't need to go chase everybody's opinions, but damn well some great channels. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang up, get my phone charged up, and I'm gonna keep refreshing and seeing if Patrick's gonna upload that Jordan video.
You're gonna share, and I'm gonna share. So whoever's hooked up with us is definitely gonna get the message that he's on. And I'm gonna go ahead and answer Finn's question here. You have a good day. Thank you very much for doing this impromptu live. Even though we didn't stick on platinum and palladium, we did start off about the first 20 minutes on that subject. And
Yeah,
that's
well, that was the point. We had a good thing. Hopefully, people liked it and enjoyed it. So I'll
right
catch you
on.
guys later. I'll see you later tonight.
All right. Good night.
Thanks, Al.
All right. I'm going to buy more bullion next week. Okay. If you want $100 and you want something fun, I would suggest what I just suggested. Get something that you might could think outside the box, because not I doubt any of us are actually jewelry people or make or whatever. But go look at some pieces of jewelry that interest you, diamond, reflective stuff, whatever, and go to the Osmium Institute, or not the Osmium Institute, but Arc Silver and Osmium, and look at those pieces that he has, and pick one up for that you can get for $100, because you can always, and this is the fun part of it, you can always later on, now that your mind's thinking of what you could do with that piece and a piece of jewelry, then all you have to do is either come up with your own design and then come up with some money to have a jeweler make it for you, or find something out there, a ring or a bracelet or a necklace or something that has a small gem about the size of whatever piece of osmium you get, and replace it with that piece of osmium, and you've just made that yours. And that's something I think that would be fun to do if you have an extra $100. But that's not financial advice. And no, I get nothing from that. It's just a unique way to add $100 worth of osmium. And the reason to buy osmium actually before the 15th of May is because around the 15th of May, it's going to take a 15% price jump. And then approximately 3 to 5% price jump month after month after that, because the squeeze is on the crystallized osmium. As I've been telling you guys, it's a smaller market than silver, platinum, and all the other metals, so it takes less to squeeze it. And I run my mouth online a lot, so a lot of people now know about crystallized osmium and are buying it. And the squeeze is actually already on, and the price is going to start reflecting that as of June, because year over year they only do a one-time price increase in May, and that's May 15th. So if you buy it before May 15th, you're going to get a 15% return on your investment after May 15th. So you'll have $115 in value. And then month over month, the value will increase 3 to 5%. So there you go. It's not financial advice, but hey, it sounds like fun, making money. I mean, it'll outperform gold, outperform silver, outperform platinum until it's over with. And then if you have a piece of jewelry that you pass down to your children after 50 years, it'll be guaranteed they will be able to buy an island with that son bitch. Small island, not a big one. And they ain't gonna come with no infrastructure or anything like that. Don't get crazy on me. The desert island, you'll have to build the infrastructure, but an island all the same. But that would be fun. And actually, the financial part is true as far as the price targeting of crystallized osmium for the rest of this year. I just let you in on a little secret, little insider trader information, because I'm actually real tied in with the crystal osmium thing. And that's the information that I got as far as pricing. And if I got that information, I can guarantee it's going to happen. So I'm going to be buying some before that happens. More. And I suggest other people for not financial advice, but because I happen to know what's going on in that industry real well, even more so than platinum. Even though 2 weeks ago, I did get a email from Impala Platinum Mines down in South Africa, the second largest platinum miner in the world. And they told me they're decreasing their supply of platinum production this year by another 7%. Last year, I told you it was 15%. So they're now down almost 25% amount of production. And the price is still not gone up. So I ask any of you who know anyone who went to business college of any kind whatsoever, ask them, what happens if supply goes down? Does the price usually go up? And then if they say yes, which they will because they went to college and that's what they tell you, then ask them, well, why would it not go up? And you'll have your answer for why platinum's not going up. They'll be like, well, it should go up. I don't know. There you go. So that proves that platinum is suppressed, just like what they say silver is suppressed. So as they say for silver, anytime you hold a ball underwater, the longer you hold it down, the higher it's going to pop. The same goes for platinum. And that's why I say One day, I will trade an ounce of platinum for 2 ounces of gold. And quite frankly, I probably won't do that because gold's not that valuable and I don't want it now. But that's my perspective. 99.999% of the world thinks I'm crazy on that one. But hey, you know what? They thought Einstein was crazy. They thought Tesla was crazy. They thought Benjamin Franklin was crazy. So I might be in a good group. Or I might actually be crazy since they don't have institutions anymore to stick me in. Who knows? Only time and the shadow will know. But minus any guys in white suits bringing me nice Christmas presents that have me tied up behind my back and bouncing off walls. There we go. He ate the cheeseburger. Actually, the one I like the best is, actually several of them I like the best. This one's kind of cool. That's my next yard. I'm gonna have a couple aliens come down and visit me and give me some fucking stock tips and shit. Oh, by the way, I'm the one on the left in the picture. I don't know who the guy is in the astronaut suit. It's all about perspective. It's a very intellectual joke. Sorry about that. Matthew. Shit. All right. Hey, anyone else have anything to talk about? Otherwise, I'm going to end this because this was actually improv too. Because Jake and I actually thought it was important that we get the information that we discovered about February 12th, 2024 being an interesting date for 4 of the precious metals seeming to bottom out as of now. That is the lowest they've been since that date, which makes it a key date of interest. And actually, I like to have all of you look into it, see what you think about that date, and see what happened that might have caused all of them, well, 4 of the precious metals to do nothing but go up since that date. But anyhow, thank you all very, very much, Mr. Matthew and everyone else. Yes, they do, Jeffrey. They get fined all the time for it. And they're also, JP Morgan, I think, is getting some of their money taken from Russia and sanctions. But that's for Sunday night. And that's why I'm going to end this one right now. Thank everyone for being here. Hit the like, subscribe, share, tip your waitress. Don't drink too much. No drinking and driving. Oh, yeah. Be kind, helpful, grateful. Buy yourself some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. Crystallized osmium, not only can you have fun with it, you can really make some money with it if you're inventive and have a open mind to see pathways to wealth. That's not my advice. That's just my opinion. I will be streaming as usual Sunday night. Yara might stop by on that one. Who knows? As you guys saw, Travis stopped by, so who knows who might show up. I'm starting to get more popular, I guess. Anyhow, y'all have a good evening. Thank you very much for being here. Be safe this weekend. Look both ways before you cross the street. Keep your head on a swivel. Be safe. Don't hang out around crowds. Always know where the exits are before you enter a room. And when you're in a room, know where the exits are, where they lead. Be safe. Be careful. And I'll see you guys Sunday. Bye-bye.